this time I actually have a little intro prepared. I'm playing with a mod that makes the game a lot harder. We are talking, if you see here, it gives leadership buffs and pretty much puts 50% extra on all the stats that you can see, which also includes the reload time, which means that every unit that has a reload time will shoot every 4 seconds, because that's the minimum that the game allows somehow. And that makes pretty much these units here like having stats of a endgame unit. I would say like it's tier 4 stats depending on the unit. It just doesn't have the armor. And yeah, even Warhounds have massive stats here. And Lords actually get super OP late game style from the start. And that's this mod here. You can check it out. I hopefully put it in the description. And yeah, you can check it out. It is a new day and a new mod, and everything that I told in the intro before. Now, usually, little information. Usually, this mod, I tried it a lot. Usually it's easier if you have a lot of ranged units, because the ranged units are usually not influenced by pretty much all the buffs that the enemy gets. So I took Belakor. Now you might say, but he doesn't have ranged. Yeah, well, he does actually, 2 pink horrors at the moment. But I've chosen him very, very well known for that cause. I didn't want to have it too easy. And you will see, usually, if you have seen my stuff before, you will see that I am usually a very offensive player that just goes in, does here and there a lot of little sneaky moves. Or I'm a defensive player and do the same thing. But in this mod you will see that I'm playing with terror. Like, I am in fear of everything. This is thankfully... Belakor is a very easy first army to beat. Only 4 units and a lord. You've seen the stats that lords can get, and Belakor thankfully has a spell that puts like minus 24 of both stats down, so it helps. But man, I tell you, there's a lot to going to happen. Like, this is we've barely had any losses. That's rare. That's only because we totally outnumbered them. Yeah, I'm still thinking back on how terror it was. We are actually, like, here, you will see me thinking very hard about this. I didn't know if I'm gonna make this, and if you see this army and you think you think you're not sure if you're gonna make it, it's terrible, I tell you that. Now, what you're gonna see here is not the first attempt. Let me say, actually, the attempts were not terrible, the others. My issue was that Belakor got stuck in some tree or God knows what and died hard. Yes, Belakor dies to blue horrors. That's part of the mod. And I had to restart because of that. Otherwise, it would have been probably very similar. So, yeah. Now, the main issue with blue horrors is that they have ammunition. They have something they can shoot, and I've told you before in the intro. Every 4 seconds they fire. So this is really an issue. I'm kind of shooting back with my pink horrors and all that stuff. Belakor is more like a distraction for the fire and all that stuff. It's a different way to play this game, because you fear many things that you usually don't feel. Yeah, and by the way, if you're here watching this, feel free to think about a subscription on my channel. I would be happy if you did so. It would motivate me to maybe do more like this, and if you liked it, even better. Yeah, so think about it. And anyway, still pushing in the front of the walls. And even here, if you know me, usually I would stand outside the walls and destroy everything on the inside of the walls with my archers. Now, obviously we don't have a lot of archers here, so this is not really as possible. But in this mod, I would never dare to do this. The enemy would unless you actually have enough range. But if you don't have enough range, the enemy will destroy you with their 4-second machine guns. And you see here, Belakor is already massively damaged. By the way, if you think about the speed, I'm showing you this a bit with a little bit more vision. Usually I multiply the videos, the combats especially, by 4. So 4 times speed. No, wait, that's where you wrong. Usually by 6 times. Now it's 4 times. I wanted to show you a little bit more of this mod so you can actually visually see it happen without having to watch me fight this stuff for 10 minutes plus each. Yeah, so this was the first battle. If you just look at the losses, like this is against Blue Horrors and 2 Furies. It is not easy. Now I'm picking my gifts, obviously the growth one per battle. That's a Belakor must-have. Otherwise I'm really thinking hard, because we will not be as aggressive and fast in this mod as we usually as Belakor. Normally I would probably even take a 3rd one, because I would say like, yeah, I'm gonna get enough souls for everything. But I only have chosen 2, because I was aware that I probably will have to take a break here and there with my units, because they are so damaged. Now this is another Blue Horror army, similar to the very first army we fought, but it's a little bit more. But thankfully Blue Horrors don't have massive beginning stats, melee defense stack. So the 50% on lower numbers obviously means lower increase of damage and stuff. So if you're thinking like, is every unit OP in this thing? No. Zombies, Skaven Slaves, even Blue Horrors by normal combat stats are not OP. But they are, let me say, stronger than they should be. They have decent stats, and you see my Marauders, like they still... They engage in combat, and they just get slapped. This is... Normally, like in a normal game, you would have probably losses of... Like we have, let's see here, 277 losses. Probably you would probably have like 100 at max, probably even less. And here you fight a lot. Yeah, subjugate this guy, obviously, take him as a friend. I was thinking about if there's a reason to not do it, but you know, it's a good defense for my main capital, especially because they also have the buff. Now, normally I would force march here into the sea. So I'm ready to go with the ship on the next round, but I didn't do it this time. Because my units are already so damaged, I was like, nah, can't do it. I need to replenish. It's not a lot that I will replenish in this round, but it probably was just enough, so I'm happy with it. I think the decision was not stupid. And yeah, that's why I did it. Wait another round, even though it's only like 10 units extra, but you don't believe how much you need it. Now we are driving into this thing here. This will perform... I've picked the arm will perform better in battle, which gave me a weapon for my lords, and actually, which you can't see, +8/+8 attack for the whole army for 10 rounds. At 8 attack and defense for the whole army. So that's a lot of useful for this challenge. And you will see me fighting Norse people now. Norse units are usually not very strong. But even here they are like, I don't know. I think in the intro I've shown you stats of those guys. Yeah, like we're talking about 50 or 60 attack and defense of like 40. And we probably have like 40 at best. So yeah, they are painful. Thankfully, I have trolls. I picked up 2 trolls on the way here. And trolls are amazing addition to this problem. The trolls have regeneration, have a lot of HP. Terrible leadership, which hurts sometimes, but you know, you take what you get. And they do still beat up infantry. Like the bonus they have against infantry, I don't know how exactly this stuff really works with monsters still hitting infantry that have way higher defense. But I assume the weight of a unit has also an impact on the damage output somehow. And yeah, I took this port just to be able to replenish. I will I sell it? Yeah, I should be. Yeah, I think I sold it late. I sold it late to one of my lessons. Yeah, then this is I actually picked unit experience. I was like, the quicker I get these guys to champions of chaos, Marauder champion. I have no idea how they call it. The better, right? And this, I was very close to getting ambushed. It would have been a nightmare. Thankfully, I was in defense then, so minus 75 for that. Now, I decided to attack those guys like they were presenting themselves. Unfortunately, I don't have my hero in the army, so a bit of a loss there. But you know. And yeah, let's go in to another terrible fight. Here you can see the stats, by the way, if you're curious. Yeah, the horses, you saw it right, 70 missile damage per shot. They are not fun. I actually do not remember this fight. What did I do here? I have no idea anymore. Oh, I do remember. Oh no. Yeah, no spoilers. No words either. I will tell you this. In a normal game, this would have caused losses. In this game, it causes destruction. I unfortunately have a very little magic in the bank. Magic? It's magic, yeah. I don't remember. So I can't do a lot of spells. Mainly because I wasn't in a spell stance, because I was rather either on a boat or in a encampment stance to recover. This is a little bit of an issue, but yeah, hopefully there will come a time where I have more than just like 4 spells to cast. And you see me with Belakor baiting these shots out that come every 4 seconds. Like, that's so much damage output of the enemy. It's absolutely crazy. You see Belakor get me shot there and I didn't realize it, and this guy was probably like a third of his health in that time. Especially against the Marauder Spearmen that do extra damage against big units. And you will see my numbers in army dropping slowly, looking at the bottom. And I was in a moment thinking that I would lose this, but I didn't. I probably it would have been smarter if I had used a little bit more of the map edge, because I really just went from stone to stone here. I probably should have used the map edge, but I think I just forgot it, that I could do that. I didn't think about it. And yeah, that's why the losses are the losses that they are. Now it looks like half my army is dead, but they just routed off the battlefield, so it's not terrible. Usually they are able to run away, which is a positive in the whole negative. You see me having 2 chaos spawns hiding back there because they are nearly dead. Can't use them anymore. Can't use Belakor either, even though I'm gonna use him here and there. Now. Or did I already? I probably did already. With the damage ward save spell, is actually able to fight even with 1000 HP. But this was so close. Look at my army. This is awful. And it's gonna be like this all mod long. All video long. This will be, by the way, probably a bigger series, more than just 2 or 3 episodes, maybe. Really depends on me, on my will to do this, like to keep going, and how interesting it will stay over the battle. I'm hoping to get chosen in my army, so I can, you know, just see how they perform. Because what we are doing pretty much, I think I said it in the intro, did I? We are pretty much fighting tier 4 units with no armor. They have combat stats like a chosen probably. And that's pretty much the only difference, that they have no armor. So even then I assume chosens here and there will actually, even chosens will suffer. But now we have a settlement, like a small settlement battle with a little wonderful star fortress. No, I don't know how to call it, like chaos fortress, chaos village. I have no idea. And I am used to fighting those. I know how to fight them. I know that that's my strategy. Attacking them from all 4 sides usually overwhelms the AI, especially if they don't have enough troops to keep it up. And normally I would already have rushed in, but in this mod I'm really careful. Like, I want the upper hand. I don't want to have choke point battles. I want to be able to surround the enemy. That's all the strategy I'm using here. Like every little bit that you can use against them is definitely needed. I'm gonna use Belakor, as you can see here, very often to annoy missile units, ranged units, because the damage output of them is massive. Not only do they shoot every 4 seconds, no, they also do double the damage. No, actually not double, it's 50. Is it double? No, I think it's 50% more damage on the missiles. So they hurt so much. Like, it's not like just 50% or double because of the attack speed. No, they go from like 10 seconds to 4 seconds attack speed, which means it's like 2.5 speed. Plus they have 50% more, so take 1 times 2.5, so we have 2.5, and then you have 50% more attack. That's like 3.75 more damage output just by the reload time and the missile damage. They are brutal. They are, oh my god, terrible. Like, even though I know this map very well, and I really felt even good fighting this, even though the numbers don't state it, but I really felt good, even though the last army that I put it inside this little compound, I forgot it, I believe, was a little bit late. It's been a very good fight for what it is. Like, this map has a lot of choke points, and we also, you can see me there in a choke point fighting, even though I didn't want to do that. But Belakor is a pretty good choke point softener, especially with the spells on top. So I felt okay doing that. Yeah, Belakor, you know, just does the AoE damage with all his swings that he does. So it was okay for me. But the losses are still, like, when I look at it, like, it's exactly every time the same. You think like, oh, that fight was great, but you lost so many troops. Oh boy. Yeah, that's how it goes here. And next target, I took the capital, obviously, the Dark Fortress there, and I'm moving on to the World War course. This is the main army, and I was afraid of this fight because 20 stacks in this mod are always frightening, but it was very much fine actually for what it is. Like, I was very happy with the outcome of this. Yeah, so dogs, by the way, are terrible as well. They are they have a lot of attack, they are fast, and usually have not a lot of defense, which makes them rout and die very quickly. In this mod they don't. They have normal defense stats and a lot of attack, so they are actually pain. And they have plus 40 leadership, so they don't drought just out of thin air. Yeah, pretty much everything that makes a dog weak is now strong. This. Why am I doing this to me? When I review all this stuff and commentate it, I actually think I'm a maniac. But for some reason, like, you know, normal Warhammer 3 is so easy. Normally by this turn I probably would have already captured 2 more Dark Fortresses or something. Which is way too easy, let's be honest. It's very easy, the normal campaign. Like, there's no challenge behind it. If you know how to play. And this mod, despite it's being ironic because it's like super OP for the AI, is a good challenge. And here, by the way, you see me attacking human lords, waiting for them to turn into demon princes. A female demon prince, by the way, probably will turn into a male demon prince. And yeah, I did 2 of them actually. I only showed 1. But let's say like that's gonna be 10 turns, and that's not gonna work. This, by the way, a ambush attack, and they all run away for some reason. I didn't know that they run away usually. I thought they sometimes fight if they feel like. Oh yeah. And the only thing I could kill is probably, yeah, I killed Wulfric. Like, he's, even with the 50% buff, he's a terrible lord. Say what you want, he's awful. The only good thing about him is his spell. And yeah, not a big fight, but it was useful to kill him. And yeah, that's actually the last fight for this episode. I'm gonna next week have the second one up, so stay tuned. This will get very interesting. Like, currently we are fighting Norse, which are easy. I guess with the Empire and all those it's gonna be a lot worse, but you know, it's gonna be time consuming with these fights. I have to fight everything that I see. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I see you next time, next week.